Yep, back on the scene. All right, so I was supposed to make this video days ago, but I got sick, and I've been in bed for like 4 days straight. So this video is gonna be about why I think 6ix9ine is gonna beat his case. And to be frank with you, there's a lot of reasons why he's gonna beat the case, and there's some reasons why he may not. But I'm gonna go through all of those right now, especially based on some of the new news that we just got. Very interesting news. So let's run by the reasons why 6ix9ine is going to beat his federal case. I don't think 6ix9ine is going to spend one day in federal prison. I honestly don't believe that. And I never did, to be honest with you. But, some of the evidence that came out was very damning. It didn't look really good for him. But here's why I think he's still going to make it out of this. Now, the biggest reason I think 6ix9ine is going to beat this case is God loves 6ix9ine. Yes, I keep saying this and I'll keep repeating it. God loves this little dude. I don't know why, but he should have been locked. He should have been got locked up a while ago, and that didn't happen. So I don't think this is going to be the thing that locks him up. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I spoke to Damas Live, and he said this dude's luck has run out. That's it. He's out of here. But I don't believe so. And here's why I don't believe so. So 6ix9ine is caught up in a RICO charge. He's caught up in a racketeering charge. And what that basically means is he's being tried alongside other people who are being tried as an organized criminal gang. Now, the feds have to prove that 6ix9ine is a gangster. That's not going to be easy. They have to prove, A, he's a gangster, and B, he conspired, right? That's not going to be easy because 6ix9ine is a musical artist. Yes, there's a lot of similarities with this case and the Bobby Schmurder case, but here's the difference. 6ix9ine is a musical artist, and his own, the manager, CEO of Treyway has said himself that Treyway isn't a gang. Treyway isn't 9 Treys. There's people that's in 9 Treys who's not in Treyway. So you can still assume that there's people in Treyway that's not in 9 Treys. Now, 6ix9ine has said he's not Treyway. He said it before he got arrested. He said he wasn't Treyway. So you're going to have to associate those two things together. And after you do that, you still have to make Treyway into 9 Treys, right? Because the 9 Treys are a pretty well-known gang. So that's gonna be tough because everybody says Trey. People are gonna say 6ix9ine been yelling Treyway, Treyway this, Treyway that, but everybody says Treyway. I say there's hundreds of millions of videos of people online screaming Treyway. So that's very loose evidence. This is a criminal case, so they have to prove everything beyond a reasonable doubt. They can't just say, hey, it looks this way, so it is this way. It has to be beyond a reasonable doubt, and they have to convince 12 jurors. So if one of those people isn't convinced, it's over. I'm sure they can find 12 people who hate 6ix9ine. That may not be hard to do, but you know what I mean? They still have to convince 12 individual minds who are supposed to not be biased. And if they can't do that, it's over. I know the feds have a 97% conviction rate or whatever, but that doesn't mean that this is still an easy case. I mean, they do have people committing crimes on camera, actual crimes. None of those people are 6ix9ine. And that brings me to the news that just got released in the last day, where the feds are trying to convince the people that 6ix9ine was the mastermind behind a lot of these crimes, because they can't say 6ix9ine committed it because there's no proof that 6ix9ine committed any of these crimes. But now they're trying to make it seem like, oh, since he didn't commit it, he conspired and he's the mastermind. A 22-year-old kid is a mastermind pulling the strings with grown-ass men and telling grown-ass men to go commit crimes, and they're going to go commit crimes. I think that's an easy thing for his lawyers to debunk. That just sounds wild. You're going to look silly trying to make that case to people. To me, that's how I feel. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the feds know something we don't. And I'm going to get to that. The other thing I wanted to get to is 6ix9ine never claimed 9 Treys. And people are gonna say, "What? What do you mean? He's blooded up, blah blah blah. He got a big ass rag in the Gummo video." Okay, find me a video where 6ix9ine says I'm 9 Trey. The closest you're gonna find is that blood walk video where he's throwing up. You don't understand how blood talk. That's the closest you're gonna see 6ix9ine to even jacking the blood gang. I've never seen a video where 6ix9ine says I'm a blood, ever. If you can prove me wrong, please put the link in the description. I'll go look it up. I've never seen 6ix9ine say I'm a blood. He jacks the blood shit, but he used to jack Crip shit too. So is he a blood Crip? Is he a Crip blood? And the bigger point I'm making here is an artist can do whatever they want. Rap is an art form. You can say whatever you want. You can portray whatever image you want. People don't look at actors like they're real gangsters if they portray. They're not gonna go get Robert De Niro and say, "Hey, we think you're a gangster because you played a gangster on TV." That's not how it works. You gotta prove, again, beyond a reasonable doubt, that he was doing some gangster shit. That's the only way you can prove this is a gangster. Like, he went out and did some gangster shit with his friends. Okay, and they know they can't prove that. So they're gonna use all this affiliation shit and try to make it seem like he's 9 Trey. Again, that's very loose evidence. Very loose evidence. Because you can't say Uzi's a demon because he raps about being a demon all the time. That doesn't make any sense. So again, you got to provide concrete proof. And the biggest proof that they have, according to what I heard in court, is the fact that 6ix9ine was recording a robbery. That looks like conspiracy. Just that's how it appears. I personally don't know how his lawyers are going to fight that, but his lawyers seem confident. They've seemed confident from day one. Like I said, I seen 6ix9ine just chopping it up with his lawyers without a worry in the world. They seem pretty confident from day one. So maybe they have a way around that. I don't know. But that looks like a clear-cut conspiracy charge to me. Because conspiracy just means, hey, you wanted to commit a crime, you told a buddy, and you made a move to go commit that crime. It doesn't have to be a big move. With one of the examples I saw on the internet, where a lawyer was explaining, is like, if two people wanted to make counterfeit money, right? They had a discussion to make counterfeit money, and they went and bought a counterfeit machine. That alone is conspiracy charge. That's conspiracy right there. Prosecutors probably won't charge it because it's not enough of intent that you were going to actually go through with it. But that's enough for conspiracy. So him recording that, unless they have a pretty good defense, maybe they're going to say he was forced to do it. I don't know. But that's one of the situations where it doesn't really look good. But again, for a RICO charge, you have to do 2 of 35 crimes. Those have to be proven for you to be indicted on a RICO charge. So we're going to see how that progresses. Now, going back to this Mastermind shit, this is why I think the feds may lose this case. They're aiming way too high. Why are you trying to make this kid seem like a mastermind? And what evidence do you have that he's a mastermind? When I was in court, they didn't bring up that Tato putting out a hit shit. Probably because it didn't come out at the time, before they had all their stuff ready. But again, they said they were getting more evidence, but that didn't come up. So now if you bring that up and say, hey, this shows he was a mastermind, okay, how does it show that he was a mastermind when they gave the video to TMZ? 6ix9ine knew that was being recorded. That just looks like promo. 6ix9ine doing promo for himself, trying to, again, portray that image. That's a lot different from putting out an actual hit. Now, was Tato shot at with Chief Keef in Times Square? Was he one of the people shot at? I've done some research, and I don't think Tato was with Chief Keef. And if he was, that's bad. But if he wasn't, then Chief Keef ain't Tato. Just because someone shot at Chief Keef doesn't mean 6ix9ine put out that hit. That's, again, very loose evidence. So the next thing they're going to go to is the Casanova thing. Because we all know 6ix9ine and Casanova were beefing. So they're going to point to that gunshot and say, hey, 6ix9ine was around when that happened. Again, around doesn't mean you did it. Because 6ix9ine had a reason to be there. He had a performance. So just because a gunshot happened to go off, and it's not like it went off at Casanova, like, that's loose evidence. You got to prove that 6ix9ine ordered that. You got to prove this and that. To make him appear like a mastermind, right? Because that's what you're going for. I just think they're aiming too high, and they're gonna end up fucking themselves over. Like if they kept it a little low, like okay, he was just affiliated or he was an associate, maybe they could have got him. But to sit there and say he was the mastermind, nah, you're bugging. Okay. The other thing is the guns in his residence that they found, quote unquote residence. Yes, in court they mentioned that they found the guns in Daniel Hernandez's house. They used his name. They didn't say it was a house or a house that the gang stayed in. They used his name. So they're trying to claim that those were his guns. Okay, now, if those were his guns, did you find his fingerprints on them? I'm willing to bet that they didn't. If those were his... And this is all going to come out, by the way. You know? I know they said that they're not going to do an appeal, but there's still a chance for them to take a deal. So if after all this and they don't take a deal, because these are smart lawyers, these are capable lawyers. 6ix9ine was the only one in there with 2 lawyers. I keep saying that. If they see all the evidence and they don't take a plea deal, they really do think they're gonna beat this case. They're not stupid people. You know, granted, if they lose, he's getting a minimum of 32. So they're not gonna take a plea deal. So he's not gonna take maybe 10 years or 7 years. He's either gonna go for 32 years or getting out. And again, this is a video to show why I think he's gonna get out. Yeah. So those guns in his residence, A, 6ix9ine can say, B, that's not my residence, and B, those aren't my guns. So those are being dropped immediately. And then you have to figure out which evidence that they've brought up isn't going to be admissible. Because something tells me that some of those search and seizures were unlawful. Like some of those were done not the right way. So there may be evidence being dropped, but also there may be evidence being added. So that's going to bring me to where I think, okay, so I'm going to talk about one more thing about 6ix9ine's defense, and I'm going to go into where it's going to get really tough for 6ix9ine. So again, the federal prosecutors are going to want to prove that 6ix9ine is a gangster. His lawyers, I'm betting, are going to prove that no, he's not a gangster. Maybe he knew some gangsters. That doesn't make him a gangster. There's a difference between being in a gang and hanging around with some people that are in a gang. If you grew up in New York, I'm talking like the bad parts, the hood, chances are you know somebody in a gang. Right? I've met people in gangs. I know people. That doesn't mean you're in that gang. To be in an official gang, there's an initiation process, right? The feds have been investigating 9 Treys since 2013. And 6ix9ine wasn't there in 2013. He came in 2017. And we know 6ix9ine, the rapper, from 2017 into 2018. So what time did he have to do all this gangster shit? You know, there's a official gang initiation process. So it looks more like these are people from the same hood who just happened to link up with each other and started hanging around each other. That doesn't mean you're part of a gang. You know, if I was his lawyers, I would be exploiting that. And not only that, we just got wiretap proof that 6ix9ine wasn't considered a gangster by the people in that gang. They said he was never a gangster, and that those are people who were in the gang. So what more proof do you need? If the lawyers don't exploit that, they'd be stupid. Okay, so let me talk about where it's going to get real sticky for this dude. We don't know what's in those phone taps, and we don't know what's in the wiretaps. That's still unknown territory. So I'm sure the feds are going to use that to scare people. And if 6ix9ine indeed talk about putting out hits on people in those wiretaps and those phone taps, that's bad. That's a shut case. That's open and shut case. That's 100% proof. But again, if that comes out and that's the case, I'm pretty sure he's going to take the deal. You know, if they have, if the prosecutor, especially federal prosecutor, they have all the evidence against you, and you don't take a deal. Like, because they don't want to go to court. Court takes a long process. No one wants to go to court. So if it can be avoided, you get less years. I don't see why you'd want to go all the way out. You know, unless part of the deal involves snitching and you don't want to be known as a snitch. But, you know, it is what it is. Now let's talk about snitching. So, again, the news came out that 6ix9ine isn't going to snitch. But there's more than one defendant. It's not just 6ix9ine. There are other people who have a lot more evidence weighing against them. Clear evidence. And the prosecutors are going to give these people separate deals. They're going to make it seem like a really good idea to go against your man or your co-defendant, because they're all being tried together. You're going to make it like a really good idea to go against your co-defendant, because a lot of people, regardless of what you hear on these fucking rap songs and all these hood stories, a lot of people look out for themselves. Self-preservation. That's the life. So if you're in a separate investigation room and you're facing life and they say, hey, at least you can come out in 30 years if you give us this information. Some people are going to take that information, man. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of image they portray outside of that. They're going to take that. This is how snitching works. And I explained it on BBN Network. If two people go rob a bank or commit a crime and they get caught by the cops, they're going to be in separate investigation rooms. Now, if none of them say nothing, because you don't know what the evidence the cop has, they can either go away free, or if the cops do have some evidence, they may do 10 years apiece. That's if none of them say nothing. Now, if one of them says something, they may offer him less years. So he can do 5 years, but his partner's going to do 20. Now, they may be like, nah, man, I'm not going to snitch on my partner. Fuck it, we'll just take 10 years apiece. But you don't know what your partner is doing. They may even trick you and say, hey, your partner's he's thinking of telling me. So if you don't tell me first, you're going to be the one doing 20. And they fuck with your head, and then you end up snitching. So it's not hard for the feds to get a snitch. I'm sure they're used to that shit. They already have an informant. They already have one. It's not hard for them to get another one. So that's a very real thing that could come out. And if there's one more to snitch, I mean, there's a good chance the feds have all the evidence they're gonna need. But if there's another one, it may be a case closed for a lot of these people. You know. But the way it looks from the evidence I've seen, they don't have anything to show 6ix9ine as a gangster. No one believes 6ix9ine is a gangster. You know what I mean? A lot of I've been around where a lot of people want to see him in jail. They want to see him punished for the trolling and stuff like that. But no one actually believes he's the mastermind of a criminal 9 blood. If people believed that, people wouldn't fuck with him that much. You know, everyone calls him a clown with a sick name. If you really thought he was out here pulling strings that could get people capped off, he really would be feared. I don't think 6ix9ine is feared, you know. People just look at him like a troll. So, you know, it all depends on what evidence we don't know. But based on the evidence we do know, he's fine. The state already dropped all the cases against him. So if he makes it out of this, he's scot-free. And let's say the other thing is, I actually do think he's going to get a bail appeal. You know, I mean, if they convince the judge that he really is the mastermind, he may not get a bail appeal, but good luck doing that shit, man. No one believes that. But I think he's a good chance he's going to get a bail appeal, and 6ix9ine may be out of here by January next year. He may be out of jail, and then his trial starts in September 4, and the whole thing starts again. So we'll see. My next video is going to be pretty crazy. If what I assume is happening, and if I'm right, it's going to be insane. I didn't want to believe it at first, but just the way it was presented to me, there's a good chance that it actually is going on. I'm going to definitely go into that in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe, and also comment, because I'm not at the point where I have millions of views, which is fine. I do appreciate the people who do watch my videos and comment, because I can actually reply to almost every comment, and I do. I like getting to these discussions, so please get involved, share, comment, so we can kind of get to the bottom of this before other people do. That's pretty much all there is to it at this point. Like I said, I'm going to be making another video that's going to sound a little crazy, but there's some facts behind it. So stay tuned for that. Again, appreciate your comments. Whether you know or not, I actually learn a lot of shit from your comments. There's a lot of shit that I don't know, and a lot of players into this game that I don't know that you guys kind of tell me in the comments, and I factor it into my theories, and I put some of it that makes sense into it, and some of it that doesn't really make any sense out of it. Like, there's some people that think 6ix9ine's baby mama is this snitch because 6ix9ine left her. Come on. You're not going to put your baby daddy in jail for life because he left you. 6ix9ine's mom, if 6ix9ine baby mama didn't like 6ix9ine, she would have rather went with Trippy and done some stupid internet shit. She's not going to the feds. But you guys also give me a lot of good information that I kind of put into what I already know and see if it makes sense, and a lot of it does. So I do appreciate those comments. Keep them coming. Again, like, share, subscribe, so this can grow and become bigger. I appreciate everything. Thank you.